Hi, my name's Sean, and this is my first YouTube video, so feel free to give constructive criticism, and constructive only. Um, I'm really just here to air my mind, my thoughts on a few things, which is, I think, why a lot of people make YouTube videos. And short rundown, basically I was raised in Oklahoma. My papa was a martial artist. He preferred Taekwondo, the traditional style. I had a very, very brief time of local MMA down in Oklahoma in Sand Spring, Tulsa. And good things short, I joined the Army for about 9.5 years, active duty. Went to Iraq for a bit, and a couple of times rather. And I'm out of the Army now, and hence the mutton chops. And no, I haven't had hair on the top of my head for a while. I'm into Irish martial arts. If you want to find out more about my Irish martial arts, feel free to leave questions, and if I can answer them, I can always give you people, with their permission of course, on Facebook and Twitter who have websites and documentations who are actually much more qualified than I am to talk about Irish martial arts and how to do them. You know, and I like to raise awareness about the Irish martial arts in particular. I'm not talking medieval weaponry so much as I am stuff like shillelagh stick fighting, bare knuckle boxing, back when more than just punching was allowed, and Irish collar and elbow wrestling, which we'll go over some other time. But I really just want to air my thoughts on something, and it's been on my mind for a bit. Homosexuality and Christianity. I'm a Christian, alright? I have my views on homosexuality. I don't think it's right, but that's my belief. I'm entitled to that belief, and I'm entitled to talk about it. However, a lot of Christians do a lot of things that aren't appropriate. They talk a lot of hate on gays. They discriminate them. By discriminate, I mean that you treat them in a substandard fashion due to their lifestyle or sexual preference. They want to deny them certain rights. Some have even said comments about assaulting them or segregating them or killing them, all the while claiming to be followers of Christ. Now, work with me on a sheerly, purely theological point. I've read the Bible, the Protestant version, the Catholic version. I'm a Latter-day Saint Christian, and yes, we are Christians. I don't care if you view it that way or not. But, so I've read the Latter-day Saint Bible, and I've even tried to read some of the Apocrypha, the 77 books that were in the original Bible that the Holy Catholic Church removed. And in short, there's nothing out there that says that we should treat them that way. Quite the opposite, in fact. You don't have the right to force your view on someone. Do you have your right to talk about it? Yes. Do you have your right to believe that way? Yes. You have a right to disapprove of what other people are doing. Whether it's Jews who disapprove of pork, or Islamics as well. Whether it's vegans who disapprove of eating any meat at all. You know, and whether it's Christians who disapprove of gays. But what you don't have the right to do is threaten, harass, or treat people terribly, because they're still human beings. And my biggest issue is so many problems to really approach. Well, what's the issue with homosexuality? You can't force people to live your lifestyle. You can't hate them just because they're different. Everyone has to find their truth, their path. It says that in the Bible, Romans. Every man has to find their own way to God. And quite frankly, how I interpret that is that everyone has to find their own way. Now, it is true I believe homosexuality is a sin, but I also believe cussing is a sin. Yet, I've cussed before. I still cuss. I don't like it. Lewd thoughts are a sin. Yet, I have them. I look at girls, I look at their legs, I look at other things besides their legs. I rather like it. You know, they're no worse than us in their lifestyle. The only reason I ever hated gay people, any gay people that is, were individuals. And even though I shouldn't have hated them, but I hated what they did. I hated them when they discriminated me and condemned me as being discriminating or condemning simply because I was a Christian. Disapproving is not condemning someone. Disapproving is not discriminating. It's just a viewpoint. But at the same time, we as Christians, we can't treat people like that. It's unchristian-like. It's unChrist-like. You know, I've argued with people about this for a while, and this is my honest viewpoint. We should treat them with respect, because the biggest thing God ever gave us, if anyone has a belief in God whatsoever, is free will, the right to choose. And if they're wrong, they'll suffer the consequences. But the thing is, I don't think homosexuality is what some would call a mortal sin, deserving of death or bad treatment, or going to hell. It's something I don't approve of, but that's just my viewpoint. But you know something? I have gay friends. I don't approve of what they do, but I don't approve of my own cussing. I don't approve of my own lewdness. You know, and some people are okay with that and say I shouldn't feel bad. Well, they're entitled to that belief. You know, tolerance and unconditional love are supposed to be something that Christians are known for. Now, I also have a problem with Christians who don't believe in justice and punishment to a degree. Like ones who are against the death penalty for murders which were obviously clearly murders, not questionable, and so on and so forth. In fact, it says in the Bible that you're allowed to execute someone who has committed murder. Not for killing someone, murder. Because some people have passed away because of some things I did in Iraq. I regret that it came to that. I don't regret what I did. And I didn't murder anyone. I did what I had to do. And furthermore, you know, rape is punishable by death in the Bible, and I think it should be. So, I am not against punishment. I'm not even against judgment, but there are only certain things that deserve that kind of extreme behavior. And homosexuality is not one of them. It's two consenting adults choosing to live a certain way. And God gave them the freedom, the right to live whatever way they choose to do. And as long as they're not harming anyone, I think if you can't stand them, leave them alone. Just stay away from them and don't bother them. Now, that being said, I've met some gays that seem to act like I don't have a right to disapprove. Like I don't have a right to a religion. Like my religion's wrong because it disagrees with you. You don't have that right either. You don't. No one has the right to do that. No one has the right to force someone's lifestyle some way, and that's something we need to realize. We got enough bad people in the world. We don't need more people doing the wrong thing and thus by definition becoming bad people. Okay? It's not about... There shouldn't be an issue between Christianity and homosexuality besides disagreements. And we should learn to have tolerance. And I have friends who are gay and I love them. I don't approve of what they do. But I don't go around telling them they're going to go to hell. I don't treat them terribly. I love them. There's some gay friends I knew before I joined the army. I miss them. I miss talking to them. I hope they're okay. I pray for them. You know? And I don't pray for their relationships to go down under. I'll leave God to judge them. But there's enough problems. There's enough issues with skinheads and types who are already hating on them and giving them awful treatment. Christians don't need to be into that. And if you're a real Christian, you really need to stop and ask yourself, are you doing the right thing? Are you treating your brother, whether you believe he's sinning or not, the way he should be treated? You know, I was at a bad point in my life. I was drinking and I was hanging around with women I shouldn't have hung around with. I was getting involved with acts that weren't legal. And I was still going to church, and people were giving me a bad eye. And I felt further separated and lonely and hurt. I went deeper into it, and that's not right. But no one issued out a hand. People stopped seeming to care about me at that church. And I remember one person said, "Sean, we're going to kick you out. We've had it with you. You're drinking all the time. You're starting fights. You're getting in a bunch of issues. We're just here to let you know that you've backslided heavily as a Christian." And I felt in my heart they were right. And I looked at him and I said, "You're right. You're right, David, I have." And there was a dead silence. And then I said, "You've been praying for me?" I'll never forget the look of shame in his eyes. And I looked at him and I said, Did you even come over and ask me if I was okay or offer help? I'll never forget the way he just looked down ashamed and said, "No, Sean, I haven't." If you think gays are being sinful, then pray for them. Help them through their hard times. Show them you love and care about them, regardless of whether they choose to change their lifestyle or not. Show them that even if they're gay, God loves them and He has a place in heaven for them, and if they try their best to live a good life by Christian principles, He'll have a place for them when the end comes. Don't condemn and discriminate. Don't force your way or try to rob someone of their free will or their right to choose. Because there's only one individual I've read about in any Christian religious text that was like that. And he wasn't God. He wasn't a saint or prophet. And he wasn't an angel. You all need to really think about that. I'm Sean, and that's what I think.